welcome back to the Taylosive Tech Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am flattered to let you know that this is not a Chat GPT scripted video.
That's a very weird video.
It will feel much more natural.
The thing was strange.
Which is exactly word for word what GPT-4 said. Wow!
Write the intro for the Tech Podcast. No, I actually was not too impressed by the results, to be honest. I thought that the audience picked up on it very quickly. And I was very flattered, for the record, very flattered that so many people said, once you asked me to subscribe, I could tell something was wrong, like something was different. They were like, this isn't right. This isn't true. And I'm glad how quickly people could pick up on the fact that you can't emulate this cringe. It's too challenging to copy all this. That's too sporadic, too all over the place. But we're back to being in control of ourselves.
I am the AI. AI tries to emulate me. I am the AI. You know what? That I had somebody who I don't know. I got tweeted at about making a chat bot of me, and it got it wrong. Woo, boy, I didn't get it wrong. Like, Luke is the founder, owner. I'm like, and first it's like, oh, I'm the newest member of the podcast. I'm like, oh, yeah, not true, but I'll play along. Okay, well, who is the OG? It's like, oh yeah, that'd be Luke. What?
I don't think we've even had a Luke guest.
No.
Not that you know of.
That we know of. Yeah.
Unless his name is Skywalker.
All we have is Palpatine on here.
I have died.
I'll never join you. Right.
Yeah, I think on that same bot, I asked it, how's Drew? And it said, Drew is great. He's at daycare right now. I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago or whatever.
That's true. I got that.
The same guy who did yours did also Drew's. And Drew's...
Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan. Drew's bot thinks that Randy is a dog, and Randy's bot thinks that Drew is his kid. So, it's a very interesting world.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that everyone was so uncomfortable by that video, because I was paranoid in the back of my head. What if everyone loved it? And that became like the best video.
You became
like,
very insecure very quick.
I'd be like, oh.
Everything is now Chat GPT. You're just stuck with it.
I'll just let him take over my channel. They can have it. That's fine. But
the writing's on the wall, Drew. It's time to retire. You retire after that. It's done. That means
I didn't think it did. I mean, it made a good illusion. It's kind of interesting to watch what AI is. You know, in those DALL-E pictures, they miss all the details and stuff. You zoom in and you're like, wait, what is that? Wait, what is that? But it's like, at first glance, it's very convincing. Leg. It's like... It's like, if you just tuned into that tech video for a couple seconds, you wouldn't think it was scripted by an AI. But once you watch the whole thing, it's like, huh? It's like, I think USB-C on the AirPods is a great idea. Let me explain why. It's a great idea because it's a great idea. And because of that great idea, I am excited. I'm excited because it's a great, it just was like, USB-C is not just for power. It can also do data transfer speeds, and it can output video, which may enable some exciting AirPod features in the future. And I was like, okay, you articulated a sentence, but not a thought. There's a difference. You didn't reach a conclusion there. And it got the layout wrong. It was like asking for people to comment, let me know what your thoughts are, and then after that was like, and also, it's coming out in September. Oh, the other thing we noticed during the editing process, I don't know if we talked about this publicly, but it got, it added a part of the story that wasn't true at all, which is dangerous, which I found interesting. It was like, I bet some of you are worried that if we switch the AirPods to USB-C, they will go up in price. I'm happy to report that according to Mac Rumors, there should be no impact on the price at all. Looked at the article, there was no mention of the price at all. They didn't say anything. So they were like just making stuff up halfway through.
Here's the thing. Here's what I love. I don't know if you did this intentionally. I want to talk about the performance.
I know you just got your car, Randy, but this
No! Oh, this makes me worried about the performance.
Subscribe to the EV podcast. We're so close to hitting 1,000.
We're right there.
Go on the YouTube channel, please.
Plug.
There's so much more news over there
And
than
unplug.
here. Go on, Randy.
Your what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about, there's a very that's not your cadence. That's not how you do things. And then you're one step below, but wow, guys, today is a great day. We're going to be able, and it's so, it's like there's a class on YouTubership. I know. No, I know. Don't worry. There's a class on YouTubership on how to say certain things at a certain whatever. And today, wow. Don't forget to put the biggest verses next to this thing. We're going to talk about the difference. Guys, oh my God, we're going to talk about the Ridge wallet, and we're going to talk about AirPods 2. I'm so impressed. It's so great. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button and like this video for the algorithm. We're so close to getting 1 million subs. We're right there. Just get us over that hurdle.
I love the way you describe that. You go, today, wow.
Wow, you guys. Yeah. Listen, that was the most...
I like how you could just start the video with, "What's up, guys? Welcome back to Talos of Tech." And people are like, something's wrong.
Yeah. Welcome back
That's
to my
not right.
channel. Yeah.
I forget at
Yeah,
what
it's-
specific timestamp it felt weird, but it definitely was early
0.
in the video. 0. Drew uploaded a video on USB-C on the AirPods. Yeah, this isn't him.
Wait
But yeah,
a minute.
definitely somewhere near the beginning of that video, I'm like, why does this seem weird and off? And I couldn't place my finger on it until you got maybe halfway through the video and you ended it, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Why did it take me so long to get it? It was ridiculous.
There was also no cringy skit. That was another giveaway. But
That was
all right.
amazing.
Yeah.
You guys have any? I'm ready to be done with the whole. I'm kind of sick of GPT-4. I've seen enough. I wanted to give you a chance to give any final thoughts before I transition.
Oh no, your performance was a telltale, but also listen, if you got a subscriber boost from the way you're be sure, wow, you guys. Yeah. Listen, if that happened, we're gonna compare Ridge versus the Apple Wallet. I'm so excited. And let's get into it. But before we do, analytics say that 37% of you are not subscribed to this channel. So be sure. I was waiting for that, but the human element of having something do that, write my script, it took the, it's fun that you did it, but it took the fun out of you. The people who...
It was very hard to record.
Yeah, it's you talked about it with the Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan thing a few episodes back, where it's there was something it was uncanny valley, but with the audible element of that, and it was just kind of And so I didn't know if you were trying to sell it by acting more YouTuber and less Drew.
There wasn't a easy way to make that script sound natural, is what I was discovering. I kept trying to read it out, and it just doesn't flow the way a human would articulate. It probably works better as a website article. If you're just reading it, it's fine, but to say it doesn't sound right. There's word combinations that I wouldn't choose, and cadence is the term. That was the very difficult to make it sound intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay. Well, unless Mike has something.
So I will say that it was a very I couldn't even get 3 words into it. I was typing into Chat GPT to form a comment or thought, and I just couldn't do it. I stand by my statement that I made, I don't know how many weeks ago, that it's a great, funny tool, but I don't think it's the best tool.
It is funny.
It's going to take over the world with all the different mistakes.
I have the skit. We asked it to write a skit, and it didn't do a very good job. But do you want me to act it out?
Yes. Oh yeah. Now that's
an exclusive for.
I'm ready.
We cut it out of the video because it didn't make any sense. But okay, so here it goes. Intro. Camera fades in. Already wrong. I don't do that in my skits. But camera fades in, showing Drew sitting at his desk with AirPods Pro 2, don't have that, and a USB-C charging case in front of him. No one has that. Drew says, "Hey there, welcome back to Tailosive Tech. Today we're talking about Apple's latest surprise, AirPods Pro 2 with the new USB-C charging case." Drew holds up AirPods Pro 2 case. "Can you believe it? Apple finally gave it to..." It's not really a skit. "Apple finally gave in to the USB-C movement, but what do Tim and my cousin Frank think? Let's find out." Cut to a split screen with Tim Cook on the left and Frank on the right. I don't do split screen. Tim Cook says, "Drew, the new USB-C charging case is all about convenience for our customers. We want to make sure they can charge their AirPods Pro 2 with ease." Frank, rolling his eyes, "Wow, Tim, took you long enough. I already have like 20 USB-C chargers lying around my mansion. Now I can finally use them." Cut back to Drew at his desk. "Well, there you have it, folks. Apple's embracing USB-C, and it seems like everyone's on board. We'll see if this trend continues. Thanks for watching Tailosive Tech, and catch you in the next one." Outro, camera fades out.
Wow. Almost incredibly, everything you said was wrong.
There was a really good comment, though, someone made on that video. They said, because I said, we tried to get it to write a skit, and it didn't really get it. So it wasn't funny. And someone commented, "So it nailed it then?"
What?
Jeez.
And I was like, that was good. See, a bot could never be that good.
You're right.
At roasting. But even though my skits are not funny, that was just confusing. It's why is the Drew in the skit saying "Welcome back to Taylor"? Like, that defeats. It's no longer a skit. Now it's just a little video. And Tim didn't say good morning. Tim didn't say products. He didn't do anything like Tim Cook.
Wow.
He just he didn't even say wow. Yeah, Frank said wow
In his mansion.
Where Tim Cook called him Drew instead of Frank.
It took you so long. Frank got a mansion instead. That's the skit.
Yeah. That's it.
That's ridiculous.
But
Thanks for sharing. That's hilarious.
now we know how it would perform. And thank you to Michael Burkhart for actually paying for GPT-4 so I don't have to. That saves me some money.
Wait, I'm not using the
I
most
ain't paying
up-to-date
for that
GPT. I'm using the one on OpenAI. Is that not the
Oh.
most
I
up-to-date
thought there was a subscription for the
Mike,
one or something.
poor Drew's trying to move past this subject so quickly, and you keep bringing it back.
I'm real.
Let it. Yeah, you're like, wait, I'm not. What's the latest then? How do you can tell? Like, Drew's trying so hard to get away from this subject, and we're 15 minutes into this, and he's just stuck. He's stuck in GPT purgatory.
Let me subject lift this, and tosses it in the trash.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's lift this subject over here. I think we should address Mike's new background.
What's wrong with my background?
He's
Is it too
competing.
green?
I didn't say nothing was wrong.
Is it too
I
outside?
didn't say anything was wrong. I said we should address it. It's different. You don't got your typical office. What are you recording on?
Obviously the studio. I've just brought it outside on a makeshift table and all that. It's doing.
I
great.
smell bull chow. That is an inside joke. Go watch EV first.
Now you gotta watch
means
TV
it's a good
podcast
thing.
and you'll get that.
That means it's a good thing,
yeah.
man.
That was a joke for Drew.
So this is I guess the inaugural recording for me, at least, on the MacBook Air that's going to make it to the actual podcast this week instead of kind of just having it on the side recording. The podcast? The inaugural? The MacBook?
MacBook! Mike.
We talked about this. Did we?
No, we
I
didn't.
thought we did.
I could have sworn we
Wasn't
did.
that on the record?
Yeah. You had a very long interlude.
Randy's dementia's
I was
settling in.
I was talking
Hang on, I think
about,
I hear Sage crying. I gotta go take care of my bull chow.
Let's cut to backup.
Yeah. I thought that was the whole reveal at the end of last week's show.
Oh my God, you're right.
I did, and then Randy had a giant interlude, and then I finished my thoughts on. Oh, also it's refurbished.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
you're
got
right.
it refurbished with the employee discount, and now you're using the MacBook Air microphone?
I think I'm using the MacBook Air microphone with the 14 Pro as my continuity camera and
Right.
I guess just camera and that's it. Which is kind of a bummer because I have my 11 Pro right here that I was hoping to use, but then I realized as I was getting set up the MagSafe Belkin thing doesn't
That's
stick to
right.
it because there's no MagSafe on this thing.
True.
So I don't really know. This is kind of I don't know. I'm not too sure what to do now besides just gracefully look at this. I guess I could use this as a nice little look up device instead of using my 14 as the look up device.
You got some papers going
Gracefully
around
look at this.
that you need to set it down on.
Look at this 11 Pro.
I mean, I heard that
Every time I wanna throw.
I mean, with what was it, iOS 17 coming, Drew might need this. So maybe I'm just holding onto it for him.
Oh. What would you sell it for?
$11 billion. Specifically,
Okay.
the price
I could do
for
that.
a Mac Pro.
Yeah. That's right.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. We could discuss that later, but it is a good phone. It's in good quality. It's had a screen protector all its life. So.
Oh, well, that's good.
it's-
I can't say the same about my iPhone 10
Yeah.
or my Tesla windshield.
No.
But I don't think I'd pick your guys' brain on this, but I don't think I would upgrade purely for iOS 17.
I didn't doubt that at all because
Okay.
this whole mindset that you've had of kind of going back in tech and
Yeah,
reviewing the old tech, you're going to run into that problem anyways unless you don't, and then you're not really get the authentic experience of reviewing an old phone and seeing how it is when it's aging and what other quirks there are with the owner experience being, oh no, iOS 17 might not be supported on this device. So then that just means, what are you going to do? And
Mike-
you'll have the answer of,
Mike straight up said, "You're gonna experience this problem unless you don't." And then he proceeded. I was like, "Yeah, that's a good synopsis there." I think. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna read. I know where you're going with that, Drew. Let me ask the panel this way: when was iOS good enough for you? At what stage? Mine was iOS 14. I remember. I remember saying iOS 14. I can't think of anything else. Anything that comes after iOS 14.
I can't remember what they added. I'm trying to remember.
They have everything
When
after
I
dark
got-
mode, and you can customize widgets, and I don't know, like everything that it was the camera settings, like that was the final thing. And then like I said, anything after that was just icing. Now we can edit the AirPods in the settings if need be right there on the spot, instead of breaking down to the eye icon and the Bluetooth and all that. So
iOS 14 had widgets on the home screen.
yep, that was the one.
And enhanced
It's that
Siri
old?
capability. Don't forget that, Drew.
Ooh.
I remember when I did the tier system with it. That's why iOS 14 slaps. It wasn't S tier. I don't think I might have put it S tier, but it was up there. iOS 14 was from that point forward, I was like, that is enough. That was perfect at that point. So
That's a good answer.
yeah. After that, I didn't really care. So as long as I have a phone that runs at least iOS 14, it's running the latest software still in regards to app, like utility, for lack of a better word. Like every
Wallet.
app. Yeah, 14 for me. So if you don't need, and I asked because if you don't need iOS 17, that means you've already decided at some point, Drew. You were like, yeah, you know what? I like where iOS is at because maybe it's the subject lift. Maybe it was, I forgot what last year's was. I don't know. But the point is, like, something clicked in your brain that said, yep, I got everything I need.
I don't even have subject lift now
Oh, well then.
because it's not on the
Oh,
tin,
yeah, there you go.
But
So something told you this was good enough now.
mm-hmm.
And it's not the apps because Lord knows you took off all your social media apps, so it's not necessarily.
They're all back.
All right.
Well, Twitter's back,
All right.
but
That's fine.
I've given up on the battling smartphone addiction thing. It's kind of hopeless.
No, it's not.
I don't know what else to try.
You're lying. You're relapsing. That's okay. It's okay. Be strong.
That's okay.
You're relapsing. That's okay.
It's okay to relapse. The first step is admitting you have a problem. We can fix it.
Everybody
I admit I have a
relapses
problem.
sometimes.
I will give you an AirTag chip as your dirty 30-day chip.
Oh, what?
You have
How'd
an
you get that?
AirTag?
What is that?
Did I not show you guys this?
No.
You are
Show me
forgetting
your
everything.
wacky credit card number, Randy. Let's see it.
How unique is it?
it?
Is it really
Wait.
that unique of a card number? Show us. Let us know.
I'm at 8 hours of screen on time.
You said, is it really that unique? of
I
a
can't
number?
check.
Okay. Titanium, olive green,
Ooh.
Randy Green, as it's been dubbed on Twitter.
Wow.
This was a birthday gift that my brother got me because I gave him my old Ridge wallet back in 2019, and it was the only titanium one
Nice.
that was there was the blue, and so
Uh-huh.
he bought me this whole setup, money included. So
Wow.
yeah, I asked because I said, listen, if it's going to replace this, which I found a way to kind of mix the two. So I actually have both.
I
Like,
didn't even know you had to find my wallet.
yeah. So I got the Find My this thing. I was like, I need to have the tracking capability. So he bought me this with the little AirTag. I had to buy the AirTag separately. Can't buy it off the website, but yeah. So this is my.
You just bought one?
I just got the one. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about running around the house and hiding it and playing find my AirTag. But I figure if you're relapsing, Drew, this could be your 30-day chip instead, and I could just find out where you are in the world whenever that day comes.
Very, very much relapsing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. But
Don't.
So because don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Speaking
do
of
it.
relapse, did you see? Are you concerned at all by Mint Mobile increasing the data
Speaking
Amounts.
of relapsing.
per month?
That was the worst transition ever.
I said a couple weeks ago that there was going to be no changes. Well, I lied. That was almost Ben Shapiro. I got to really listen to my voice talk.
That
It's a
was
fine line
Well,
between
yes.
That's what I thought you were doing.
Reynolds and Shapiro.
Ryan Reynolds.
It's a bit
here.
more breathy.
Well, yes. but I did. Ben Shapiro's like, well, quite frankly, yeah, he's very nasally. Well, yes. What the bleep is going on? I don't know. I've been doing Shapiro for so many years. I don't know how to do that voice and like maybe get more to a Ryan Reynolds. But anyway, am I concerned? You shouldn't be, because you're not paying nothing. Who cares? Like, you're fine.
No, but I mean, my concern is that they're increasing the data amounts so that they can justify a price increase down the road and say, well, we're giving you so much data anyway.
No,
it's not too much.
I'm not concerned about that.
You don't think it's that?
Nope, because T-Mobile hasn't really increased prices with their plans now. They've only added. They've only added. What is it? The benefits, perks, or anything. They've added to, like, if their goal is to get you on Magenta Max, let's say, which is their top tier.
Feels like it.
Yeah, they never changed that price. They'll do promos about, hey, add 3 lines, bring a 4th one free, or what. They do those things, but they never increased the price from the which I believe is $100 for so 25 a line. I think that was the thing. If you set up auto pay, I might be wrong. I don't know, because I'm on a military version of it, so it's a little bit different. But
right,
they have, if their goal was to get you to the bigger tier, you're thinking like Apple. You're like, oh, let's just upsell. It's the false equivalency here. If they were trying to really get you to upgrade there, they've never bumped the price on anything prior. They've only add perks that would maybe roll over to the new and improved Magenta Max. For example, they say, hey, this new one, if you upgrade, you can now have unlimited Wi-Fi in the air when traveling in North America, as well as 50 gigs of blah, blah, blah in Canada or Mexico. So they don't touch the core of it all, which would be data. Nobody really cares about minutes anymore. That's not a thing. It's all unlimited. But they don't touch the data thing or the data cap at 50 gigs. I think they've increased it since then too. I don't know, but they only try to add on to it. When I think about Boost Mobile is running and operating like it. I'm sorry, not Boost. Metro. Metro is running as its own entity, which their perks, it's more like bring a line and you get a new Samsung something or not. Like they just try to market share it without really like taking something away.
It's like airlines competing with each other. They're all pretty much doing the same thing, just different perks.
Mint is trying to just do its thing right now about, well, hey, now we're increasing it by more because maybe R&D said that 4 gigs wasn't enough or what have you. So they know something we don't in regards to their research elements of that.
I guess. And I'm just paranoid now. Ever since the acquisition was announced, I'm just like,
any day now.
You're going to be wearing magenta with me soon. I'm already calling it.
We have been taking advantage of T-Mobile Tuesdays, but that's just through the home Wi-Fi. But Mike actually texted me without any warning / context, and I never addressed it. Sorry, Mike. I'm looking at the text.
I don't even remember why I texted you.
You just texted me a link to Tello Mobile.
Oh, yeah.
And I never addressed it. I just ignored the text for the remainder of the day. And then when I did text you, it was about something else. But yeah, you texted me this carrier in the US that matches Mint's 5 gig plan at $15 a month, but they even go lower. They have like a 2 gig plan that's $14 a month, a 1 gig plan that's $10 a month, and a 500 megabyte plan that's $9 a month. So I was curious how you found out about them, or what, like, because I've never heard of them before. They're not sponsoring this episode.
I haven't either. But you can thank my stubbornness with not going to YouTube Premium, because I saw it as a YouTube ad for some YouTube video that was queuing up. And it popped up. I'm like, oh,
thanks for being stubborn.
Yeah, I know, right? And then I saw him like,
principle, I forbid you to do it now, Drew, just because it was a YouTube ad.
Interesting. No, but I
Okay.
saw it and I thought, well, Drew's been talking about like what happens if Mint Mobile evaporates or something like that. I'm like, well, at least here's an option. I sent it, and then just knowing the fact that they can match Mint Mobile's pricings or go lower, I think is maybe just them plus with this ad capitalizing on the fact that Mint Mobile has been acquired by T-Mobile. So now
Maybe.
they're just like, all right, well, maybe we can be the new Mint Mobile, get a whole bunch of people on here because people are like Drew are fearing for the fact that they might not have the pricing or just the options that they used to have anymore just because T-Mobile is now doing what they want to do with Mint Mobile. So could be a good alternative, but of course it's just an ad that I saw on the internet. I'm like, here's another resource for Drew. He can have it, and then
What that tells
Darn.
me,
Again.
what you just did to Drew is you gave him an unsolicited ad that he went out of his way to pay for to not have, and you just gave it to him anyway. You
All right.
unsolicited added,
You destroyed the purpose of my premium.
which is why I
Which
forbid
I
this.
actually, I did not pay for premium this month.
What? You're dealing with the ad?
The plot
This is how
thickens.
this is how you're managing your smartphone addiction. Is you were enabling premium, so that way you're forced to have
funny.
ads. So you can't watch YouTube videos because you're disgusted by the ads. So then it helps with the smartphone addiction by
Well, I can't believe I asked you how you found out, not knowing the answer was gonna be that ironic. It's like, how'd you find out about this,
It's
Mike?
ironic.
YouTube ads. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I can't believe you. But essentially, I think I talked about it last week. I changed my email address, which was a huge undertaking. And this actually ended up being the perfect month to do it because I hadn't completely thought through the process because I realized I was on the YouTube Premium family plan and, you know, renting out slots to friends and family members.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the legacy pricing,
That's
$14.99
right.
a month for 6 people. But I was switching over to this new Gmail. And I was like, oh, wait a second. I'll probably lose my legacy pricing. Well, as it turns out, I'm adding some theatrics. I remembered that back in October, YouTube warned us that they suck once again. And they've decided to increase the price of premium for everybody, regardless of when you signed up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you had grandfathered pricing. It doesn't matter if you signed up back when it was called YouTube Red. They said the price for everybody, regardless of when you signed up, is increasing from it was $15 a month to now $22.99 a month on April 22nd or something like that, like
Wow.
mid-April. So the price is going up, yes, but it would have happened if I kept my old email, and of course it still happens on this new email. The difference is, because it's a new Gmail, I got the free trial. Free 30 days of premium for the introductory.
Wow,
So-
Drew, what are you gonna do with all your $20? Go to In and
Probably
Out.
travel.
Go to travel. I'm thinking about traveling.
I mean, that will cover the supercharging this weekend. So
True.
there you go. But so I couldn't have picked a better time essentially to switch Gmails. But we had to. It was this whole process, man. I feel like a landlord. Not a landlord. It's a service lord, premium lord, YouTube lord. There's a new status. You've heard of
So, a new
YouTube
title.
partner. Now we have a YouTube lord because essentially I had to reach out to everybody on the family plan. And I'll be honest, there's a few people on there that I talk to once a year. And it's usually just about premium. And then I never see them again or talk to them again. Like I have a cousin that if you scroll through our text history, it's just talking about request $3 paid, request $3. And I had to reach out to everyone. Hey, I have to let you know YouTube's raising the price, so we're
Rent's
gonna
going
just
up.
across the. Yeah. Rent's going up across the board.
Landlord.
And we had to prorate it because the first 3 months of the year were $3 a month. So we were like, okay, it's going to be $3 a month for the first quarter, and then the rest of the year we're going to up it to $4.50 a month. And that brings your total to whatever, $49.50 or something. So I was bringing out the individual calculations of what everyone owes and having to reach out to them and explain to them, are you still interested? Everyone said yes. We still have a waiting list, although now the waiting list is less enticing because the price is the same whether you sign up today or 5 years ago. So, but no, it was this whole process of managing.
You have a weird business family relationship with all these
He's
people.
got like a slumlord thing going on over here. Hey, first of the month, where's my money?
I'm in the empire.
Jesse, you asked me if I was in the drug. Neither.
He's swishing around his
water.
his drink. But yeah, if we divide that between 6 people, it
Yo,
equates
Mr.
to
White.
about 4
That's pretty cool.
If it results in all of us having to pay $4 a month for YouTube Premium, then it's worth it to me. That's much better than what does it cost for an individual plan now? Like 12 or 15 or something. It's crazy.
I just want to give a shout out to my mother-in-law because I think she watches these episodes from time to time. If she's watching this one,
Hi,
thank
Becky.
you.
How's the flip?
Yeah. God. Oh wow.
By the way,
just wants to.
I'm glad that you brought that up. I met someone who uses
Never mind
fold.
what I had to say.
Or
Whoa! What's it like?
They use it for their
person,
job,
not the phone.
and they love it. They were using it all over the place.
Okay.
I'm like,
That's
that like
GPT-4. That's not real. That's not real. Nope.
I'm secretly actually still
Where there's
have
smoke,
the
there's
VR
fire.
over my eyes, and it's all just a virtual world that's run by Chat GPT.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so this person has. You said it's a Z Fold 4 or a Flip?
It's the fold. It's the one that folds like
Okay.
a book and not like an old.
Upside down book.
Yes. It's more Moto with keyboard rather than
Okay.
Samsung.
And they love it.
They love it. I was very surprised. And they're like, this is great.
That's
like
good.
it does great photos and everything. I'm looking at the photos, I'm like, those look bad, but okay. Those don't look good.
You probably thought that. I thought that when I took pictures. I went on a hike yesterday and I took pictures with my iPhone 10. One of them was pretty good, and the other 6 were pretty bad. But remember, just want worse photos. That's what I'm teaching
That's right.
myself. So, could be more colorful. Could use some editing, but oh well. I'm glad that someone's enjoying their folds. For the record,
There are those people, and they do exist, Randy. And I don't know
They're out
how,
there.
but they deal with the folding technology decently, and that's all I have to say.
They must have been. Next time you see someone with a fold, similar to Randy's mother-in-law story, you need to ask them if there were any other folds in stock when they bought. Just be like, "Oh, you have a Z Fold? Yeah, I do. Oh, were they out of good folds? Or?
They have 22 Ultras.
Were they out of yeah. The S23s were sold out? What was going on with that? No, that's because that's legitimately my mother-in-law was like, I don't know. I just got this. I wanted to get the Galaxy S22, whatever. Yeah.
We don't have those, but we
you
got
know what?
lots of foldables.
I am slowly, hang on. I have an update with her, though, because I am slowly converting her to iOS because she's using the worst version of iOS. Which one's that, Randy? I'll give you
Wait,
a
what?
flippin' hint.
Wait. You got her on the iPad train?
Because of FaceTime, so she can see her grandson. And every now and then she texts me.
Randy is gatekeeping his child through iOS. This is the most drastic attempt to switch someone I've ever seen.
You're goddamn right.
You want to see your son? Yeah. There's a sale at Verizon.
Wait, you don't know how on the nose you are, Drew, because my sister-in-law is a diehard Android, like, Apple sheepkin, like, she's one of those. And the whole family's like,
this is terrible.
Dude, just get on the darn thing. And she's like, I don't know. But she's the proudest aunt that we could have right now. And she's like, I want to see my nephew. And I'm like, well, FaceTime. And so
say their name.
Now.
I feel like this is against the Geneva Convention or something.
And she's like, that's an iPad. You're goddamn right. So
you're in someone's subreddit. I'm not sure which subreddit, but someone's writing about you, I bet.
Listen, at the end of the day, I want my blue freaking messages, okay? I want to be able to send videos uncompressed. I want to be able to silence people and say, do not disturb me because you can see it's on. Leave me alone. And
can RCS do that?
I don't care. I don't know. And I don't care. Listen, I don't care. Yeah.
What if iOS 17 has RCS? That would be funny.
That will be the day. Yeah, sure. Right after they get AirDrop, not AirDrop adjacent, AirDrop, whatever the heck Google's working on. Boy, Google's getting themselves to, I say Google. Microsoft is being able to do the AirDrop equivalent. They're gonna love 2014 then if they're loving 2013 tech right now. I can't wait for them to get Apple Pay directly from an NFC. Anyway, so look. My mother-in-law is using the iPad mini. She bought one on that same cell that I got mine on.
Wow.
And she went from asking me a lot, how do I do that, to, and this is not an exaggeration, she calls my wife, FaceTimes, every day, multiple times, like, well, it's 3 o'clock over there. Say should be awake. I want to see, like, she bugs, but she's going from.
Show me the child.
She goes from, hey, Randy, how do I blah, whatever, to, hey, what's pretty cool is that I'm able to, and I was like, it's happening. And I was like, we have a shared family album where we post all our photos and videos of our kid that you can be in because you have
with our real family members,
the real family that you can be in if you have an iCloud account. And that was enough to get my sister-in-law be like, hey, wait a minute,
this is terrible, Randy.
Wait a second.
This is so
and now he's the slumlord.
That's right.
Now if you get on this album, it costs this much.
If you want
love your family,
it's like, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you're looking for money, I can tell you I don't have any. But what I have is an iPhone with an iCloud account.
With a very specific set of neural cores.
And it doesn't overheat. The battery doesn't blow up. So I am converting my fam slowly. It starts with the iPad, the worst OS of them all. And then she already said it. It takes one conversation. It takes one more person convincing the grandfather, the one who has the name on all the bills and stuff. It takes one more person to be like
George Washington.
Michael, don't you got some chickens to go feed or something?
It's actually my, I'm a slumlord of chickens. It's all chickens as far as the eye can see.
You're a monster!
Oh.
I can't believe the amount of thought you're putting into this. Like, don't just try to jump in head first with the iPhone. You, work on the tablet because they have no hope in that field. So you give them a little bit.
Yes. Listen, this is how drug dealers get them hooked. The first one's free.
Drug.
The next one's gonna cost you. And I'm over here just like, yeah, you eat that bull chow. You do it. So,
geez.
And it's working. See, Drew, I'm playing the long-term game. I'm not playing for sales of this quarter. I'm playing for who the next CEO of Apple is. Yeah, that's the game I'm in. And needless to say, I got 3 diehard Android people who are more stubborn than the. Never mind. But slowly, it's like, you know where I got you? iPad. Check and mate. You want to see my kid? Get an iCloud account. I don't care if you got a. Hey, listen! Ain't nobody jumping on airplanes coming out here. Come see stuff here until you're at my front door, family. You can get an iCloud account and you can FaceTime us like we live in 2023, like the rest of us.
I think they'd rather come to California where the weather is crazy, and just deal with that rather than a little bit of rain in Virginia.
It's about. I've been waiting for it to pour.
Best Apple salesperson of the year is Sage. He's
love you, buddy.
sold more phones than anyone.
I mean, look, he just goes like this.
Amazing.
He doesn't even do that. He just goes.
Yep.
And it just immediately.
All right.
The drugs are sold.
Yep.
The drugs are sold. Okay, I've got one for you since we're scraping the bottom of the barrel in this week's episode.
If you haven't noticed yet.
Here's something relevant that's also finance related. So Randy and will probably have some thoughts on it, but it appears Apple has finally begun in limited volumes rolling out Apple Pay Later. It only took them 10 months after announcing it, but you can now finally buy something with Apple Pay. You don't need the Apple Card, and it splits it into 4 payments over 6 weeks. I don't like this, personally. But I think it's dangerous, and I think it's very scummy. But I've seen others that are very excited for it, and I need to apologize to Dylan on Twitter, I think, because he was one of the people that got invited to. Again, it's not available to everybody, but someone got the Apple Pay. Dylan got the Apple Pay Later offer, and he was like, "Hey, I got access to it." And I replied, "I'm so sorry."
Sorry for your loss.
And then he blocked you.
There was no context, but a lot of people just replying with question marks like, well, here's the answer. I think that Apple Pay Later is all of the danger of a credit card with none of the advantages of a credit card. Like, Mike's just dying.
I'm sorry. I was looking because
kind of like an STD. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I saw an email earlier this week from Apple Card. I'm like, maybe I got it too. So I was looking. It's like, you're eligible for disaster relief assistance.
Oh, you poor fool.
Nice. That's actually more interesting.
It's actually more interesting, but I just love how it's just. I'm expecting Apple Pay Later. And it's like, nah, disaster relief. Something infinitely more usable than. You can pay the rest of it later.
Yeah, right.
Why pay now when you can pay later? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great for those that really want the tech now but don't have the money now, but they know that they'll have the money later. I don't know.
That's like saying heroin is great for people addicted to heroin.
Probably. I think it's great for those that have a regular job. What's it called? The word is just escaping me just now. They get regular checks from their
income.
Job. Yes. Regular income.
I don't know.
Regular paychecks.
I think the 6 weeks is a very specific timeline. I think that's precisely chosen as you don't have the money for it now, but you will have the money for it after the next paycheck. And to me, that encourages bad buying behavior, like buying things before you have the money for it. And at least with a credit card, you're at least getting some rewards on it, and there's some finance but this doesn't build your credit score. This doesn't give you cash back. This is just purely delay delay the responsibility, have instant gratification, which I think encourages
Well,
people to
not
spend
only
more
will
than
it
they
not
have.
build your credit score, but if you don't pay, it will still adversely affect it.
That's true. I guess I didn't think about that. Do they run a credit check on you when they offer it, or is this?
I didn't get the invite, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know how. I don't know.
I
How
can't tell. I'm reading the description of it now, and they're just Apple's describing it as many people are looking for flexible payment options. It's a nice way of saying people can't afford your products.
Maybe. Or you call, I mean, there is that set of people who have a savings account set aside and they want to save a certain amount per month. And so maybe they don't want to pick out of their savings and pay for the iPhone or the iPad or the Magic Mouse or whatever. And this might be a way for them to save that savings money and not touch it and be able to pay later. So it could be that, but I I doubt most cases are like that. I think a majority of them are what you described, Drew, and being instant gratification. Even though I don't have the money now, I could save and get it later, but I'd rather have it now. So
Yeah, like 6 weeks too. It's like you're not getting it super soon. What happened to Apple Buy later? I guess. But okay, go ahead, Randy. What's your thoughts on this?
We know from having other responsibilities and having other obligations the importance of having financial literacy. But a lot of these younger kids or who living at home or whatnot, like no knock on you guys, but when there's more at stake, when you have something more to lose, you start to act like it. And the thing is, Apple may say it's like, oh, for people who want a bit more flexible plan because of something, and you can pay it off like they could phrase it in a way that, like, on paper, Mike was trying to defend it for a second. On paper, you can say all the right things about why this can work and it doesn't hurt anybody in a perfect scenario. But the people who take advantage of these programs do so in a way to take advantage of the program itself. They do it to their benefit because they see this more valuable than that little paper in there.
He held up his iPhone first and then his wallet second.
They find value in this more. So, and it's so much easier to just. Apple has made it simple on how you run charges with Face ID. You don't even like you see the number once at the checkout on their checkout, and that's pretty much it. People who do the envelope method of paying for things, and it's a financial strategy when people are trying to become more disciplined with their money. When you have to physically, literally account for every dollar that you get that's income, you treat the money differently when you have to see it go out. Shoot, we were this way when we were about to buy the Model Y. Like, that's a lot of money. And now we're looking at it, and you have to really commit to that. Now, whether we're saying $50,000 or $1,500 or whatever, people want to buy a new MacBook, and so the point is that you're not going to use this program, this pay later thing, when you're buying a $25 AirTag. That's not what you're not going to use it for. If you do,
I hope not.
I have questions. I'm like, there's a better way. I will on record, I will give you financial advice and help you not do that. Okay, you could take that as financial advice. Don't do that. But when it comes to buying something like an iPad, a MacBook, and everything through Apple, you think it's a tit for tat. Hey, you know what? I pay later, interest free. It is the same. I know so many people, and I know you guys too also know this. I know people who are on credit card debt that don't think of that big number. They don't look at the APR. They don't look at the interest rate. They just look at how much do I have to pay next month? $25? Cake. All right, $25. There you go. Now I'm gonna go spend $50 on and then they just move on as usual. And they wrote it off in their minds like, I paid $25. What's the problem? I paid $25. At least in the credit card situation that Drew was alluding to, hopefully there was some type of payoff to it if you're being smart with how you use credit cards. They have cash back, points back. They have, things that you can redeem with. And
some have very low interest rates. Not the Apple Card, but there's other credit cards that will have like 0% APR. So like I understood the argument people were having of like sometimes they were making the pitch for like I need to buy books or a Mac or a laptop or something for college.
Yeah.
And the financial aid hasn't kicked in yet or something. I was like, I get that there's like emergency situations where you feel fairly confident that the money's coming in. It's just not ready yet, but you need the product there. But I don't think that's what Apple Pay Later is about.
No.
Like, I feel
Apple
like that's
Pay
what...
Later is... Apple will never do something that would not benefit them as well, or even first. Make no mistake, we're all sheeps here, but they're a for-profit company. They are a publicly traded for-profit company. For profit. Mm-hmm. They don't care at the end of the day. It's all marketing gobbledygop. They don't genuinely care. They don't care about your privacy. Nothing's private. They don't care about your financial discipline. That's money to them. They don't care about nothing except legally pleasing shareholders first. Anybody says otherwise doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I guarantee. That's just not how that works. That's why they get away with pricing so much too. They're masters at marketing and selling these things. But this is something where it's like when it comes to spending hard-earned money, you should really, really think about, do I need this now? We talked about this maybe right when we came back with the new season, that the benefit of me just holding off a little bit longer to buy the 14 Pro when it came out. I waited just a little bit longer for not the instant gratification.
Holiday return period.
And I had so much more time. I know that phone better than anybody but Drew. I mean, anybody but Mike, because he owns it.
He has a 14.
He actually has it. But instant gratification, like I practiced. I saw it. You got it. But practicing the discipline of just not jumping at the first time of doing something. They're in the business of selling you things. Services will never end. I pay for iCloud for over a decade now, and that's just the deal with the devil that I made, and I accept those terms. But I knew what I was doing, and if they increase their prices the way YouTube Premium increased, I'm gonna have to pay, because again, I accept those terms. That is worth it to me. But taking the moment to just kind of like realize that, like, all right, this is what I'm willing to work with and not work with. Where it's like you have people like the Nick who buys Apple One for 4 terabytes, and then you have people on the other spectrum like Drew who, out of principle, is like, I'm going to show that I don't need to pay for it, and you have everything in between. It's all spectrum. But this Apple Pay Later, regardless of where you're on the spectrum, does not benefit you. You don't win anything out of it. If you think getting the product means you're winning something out of it, then you fell for the trap. You already lost. They won before they launched it. If you think this is a good thing, there are other ways to do it. And the thing is, I'm not saying don't buy nothing till you have the cash in hand and only pay cash. I'm not saying Dave Ramsey this thing, but what I'm saying is that if you really need to buy something for some weird situation, I don't got the money right now, but I need to have this now. Get like, I'm trying to be more vague and less like Apple Card, but the point is, with a credit card, you get cash. You get something more out of it if you are that disciplined. You know you're going to pay it off. I'm not going to pay interest on this thing. All right. Put it on the credit card. It has the same effect. You have at least, 4 weeks. You have a billing cycle before you have to pay that off. So you're putting yourself in the same range as what you would do with Apple Pay Later, except now you have something that goes towards it. And sometimes you get a glitch and you get 6% instead of 3%, and you just got more out of it.
That was worth it.
That would make it. That would make those purchases worth it. Then shoot, I wish I would have done that. But it is. You play as the cards are dealt. So
usually you have at least 6 weeks. At least with the Apple Card, like you put on a charge, that balance is typically not fully due until the following month.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
could even get more than 6 weeks. And if money's really that tight, I would say delaying the entire purchase rather than stretch it out over the course of 4 payments would be better to just delay it all.
If
Just push
money
it all back if you're
is
really
that
trying to go
tight,
easy.
why does that Apple purchase take precedence over food, shelter, utility? What if money's that tight and you don't have your essentials covered? Like, I ask these questions out loud to our listeners or viewers to just have you, whether you're in this situation or not, to apply critical thinking about your spending habits. I saw somebody get snippy on Twitter not too long ago when we were talking about it might have been Apple Pay Later. It had something to do with Apple and finances. Or you know what? It might even been with Drew downsizing to the iPhone 10, and then we're talking just more or less about the philosophical stance about not needing to spend money to upgrade. And somebody just had the same talking point. It was like, I worked hard. I it's the latest phone. I'm treating myself. Blah blah blah. And they say all these things, completely missing the like. You're associating. This goes back to the Apple sheep like toxic part of it. You're associating yourself to a product that does not give a crap about you, to a company that does not care. And you're putting your identity in that. Like, this is what I am. And when you attack this, you attack me. And I'm working really hard for this thing because I'm working hard for me. You already got your brain. You lost. They're not applying the critical thinking about that. So then it's as simple as just thinking that, are your basic needs met? Do you have a roof over your head, food, are bills paid? Yes. Okay. Do you have somewhat of like, this is where it's all optional after this, I guess. I guess it's Wild Wild West, but do you have somewhat of a savings to protect you in the event that, I don't know, another pandemic happens, people get laid off? Who knows? We don't know anymore about what can happen. We have so little control about what happened in our lives. Do you have the best case scenario that you're protected? If the answer is yes, then who am I to tell you, I don't know, I wish you the best. But I'm willing to bet more often than not, that is not the sequence that people do it, because we were all guilty of it too. We were a victim of that too. It took a lot of discipline and rewiring and training it. And we're not talking about social media addiction. We're talking about straight up like addiction. There's more than just like we joke about the Breaking Bad stuff, but like these smartphones and these texts and this the euphoria of the experience, like that is good marketing. We're addicted to it. I can't wait for WWDC. But at the end of the day, it's like basic needs met. Don't worry about it. Somebody was attacking all three of us, different podcasts though, but somebody's attacking us like, boy, it must be nice to be rich. Take price out of the equation, okay? At the end of the day, our basic needs met. What you do is what you do from that point of going forward. But if I say I'm only going to spend 5 to 10% of what I make, and it happens to be more than your 5 or 10%, that doesn't mean buy what I buy. You got billionaires buying Teslas and they're thinking like, oh, then I need a Tesla. If you can't financially afford it, don't do it. Don't do it if you can't do it. If you didn't save up for it, don't do it. It's the same conversation with cars as it is with smart. That's the beauty of like why we like doing both these shows, because it's these tech products. It's just a smaller version of what we're interested in now with the bigger, flashier technology with EVs. But it's all the same conversation. You have to have financial discipline. You guys, everyone watching this, y'all, watch Talos of something. Drew did not put himself in debt in any of these situations when it came to buying the car or buying the product. And he openly documented that experience. Let that be the takeaway. Not does it have dynamic island don't let that be the takeaway. Let how you get there. Let the journey be the takeaway, not this end destination, because the goal always moves. It will never stop. You will never be fulfilled. You will never be satisfied.
Well said. Nice.
Very cheery note.
I was trying to read the press release from Apple to try to play devil's advocate or something, because I was like, well, maybe, maybe people are in an area where credit cards aren't an option, but Apple Pay Later is only in the U.S. So if you have access to Apple Pay Later, you have access to the Apple Card. I don't think it's also they said that it only goes up to users can apply for Apple Pay Later loans of $50 to $1,000. So
Starting?
I assume that means you couldn't pay later for an AirTag because it's below 50. But that also means you couldn't even Apple Pay Later like a M2 MacBook Air. Probably not even an M1 because with sales tax it would get past 1,000. So, and the picture they have on the website, showing like the demo, here's how it works, is literally a picture of someone financing or Apple Pay Later applying a Nike Air Force One shoes. So I don't think the push is, to help people in need. To me, it's like I liked the Apple Card because it supported the concept of being more transparent and honest. It was like the first honest, like straightforward credit card that wasn't trying to trick you. They made the payments really easy to understand. They tell you exactly what the interest is if you don't pay it off. And it makes it painfully simple to manage your finances. And based on other bank accounts I've tried, I was like, this is the most simple, user-friendly credit card I've ever used. So I appreciated that it was giving people a way to build their credit, make some cash back, and not rack up a bunch of interest fees. I was like, this is good. This is it's a great starter card. The perks aren't amazing, but it's just good for being simple. And this feels like more the opposite direction. It's like, well, this is not trying to help you. This is not trying to encourage good credit card management. This is not trying to encourage good financial health. This is almost encouraging the opposite. Not almost, it is. It's straight up like.
That's why when you were trying to find a devil's advocate point, I didn't care what Apple had to say or if you had a point to throw because I'm so steadfast in my knowledge of this because I'm a person who had tens of thousands of dollars of debt in my name in my early 20s. I was the walking poster child of an American male in his early 20s in debt, buying cars I couldn't afford. Like I was that guy. And so the biggest thing I can push forward is through my own experience, like why it's so toxic and wrong to stay away from that. It doesn't matter what the case that Apple would make or if there's a counterpoint to it. What I'm saying, I know to be true to my core that, like, that's why I say it so passionate because I know it. I lived it. I suffered through it. And I just don't want other people to go through that. And you don't, and the thing is, like, when we joke about, Drew's relapsing to social media. When somebody has a problem and say financial literacy is a problem, it's not a light switch that just goes from, I'm doing good, I'm not doing good anymore. There's this inner dialogue that we all go through where it's like, I'm trying to cut back on my spending. But what's one Starbucks drink? It's just one. And that right there was the problem. It's just one. It's just one. McDonald's has the bundle $3.99 double cheeseburger small. What's $4? It's just $4. Just $4 here.
It forces you to look more at the individual transaction and pushes the narrative that just look at the smaller number.
Yeah,
you can afford. You don't iPhone 14 Plus in yellow, $900. Don't think of it as $900. Think of it as
you're renting it for $1 a day or whatever Tim Cook said.
Yeah, it's only $200 every 2 weeks.
Wrong.
You can afford that.
Yeah,
right? Like that's the mindset. Is that it's like forcing you to not look at the full picture. And
that's where I have the biggest problem with all of it, and I can't be convinced otherwise. Yeah.
I've unfortunately talked to people that, because I should mention Apple Pay Later is not a new thing. There's been plenty of other payment services that have that same concept of like, you pay. I think Venmo does it, or PayPal does it, or Zelle does it. There's a few other companies that support the stretch it out over 6 weeks things. Sorry, Mike. Mike's dying.
You okay, buddy?
I'm dying over here. I'm good.
All right.
But I've seen it with my own eyes, the idea
No,
of
I'm dying. I'm good.
For...
That's what he said.
No, I'm dying.
I'm dying. I'm good. All right, cool.
You got to stop making them laugh.
Cool, just checking it.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
But I've known people that have said, okay, I'll do like the Apple Pay Later equivalent on a credit card.
Yeah.
So you stretch
Yep.
6 weeks over
Yep.
another 6 weeks with that credit card, and that just spirals you even further down a dangerous trend. So it's not illegal or anything. I get that it's a free country, but I just think that all the risk and none of the pros of a credit card. And I thought Apple was making wise moves in the finance space by trying to make good financial health a accessible thing to the masses, and this feels like a push in the wrong direction. I'm still waiting on that savings account thing. Where's that?
No. Where's that at?
What happened to that thing?
Apple.
Who knows?
You want to make money off of me and put that, just give me some kickback on interest. That's how you gonna make money off of me. Just give me something that's FDI insured, and I will dollar for dollar match that.
Especially now, right? Is that maybe Apple feels like now's the bad time to get into the
Can you imagine their partner bank was like Silicon Valley Bank or something, and that's what happened? Like, oh, never mind.
Never mind. Apple Pay Later is
SEC.
great.
Yeah, nope.
No, especially just in the economic climate we're in, to have a company like that saying, "Hey, you should push off the payments. You should delay it a little bit."
It's capitalism at its finest.
I guess so. It's just a little bit more in your face than usual Apple, which is always like.
Is Arcade Plus really not selling that well?
Yeah, I mean, they're always a for-profit company, but this felt just a little bit more on the nose than usual for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is just. I know not everyone, of course, listens to this show, so there's a lot of people that are just gonna. And a lot of Apple, podcasters or YouTubers that are just going to talk about this like it's just another one of those cool features and not look at it as a very dangerous thing. I mean, it's kind of interesting that I guess Apple is holding the loan. It's no longer Goldman Sachs. Like,
hey, credit where credit's
Apple
due.
Card.
You guys were talking about that, or at least you for sure, Drew. We're talking about that. Like, I did more research after we did that episode, and Goldman Sachs is hurting.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
a correction on my stance. No, I think Goldman Sachs was expecting something else to happen in this business partnership, and Apple being Apple about not wanting to share much about it. I think this was a strong arm move, like, they strong man them to be like, yeah, we're Apple. Come on, brand recognition. Work with us. With us. And Apple also being, again, a very vicious business. They're like, we're not going to share. No, these are our clients. These are our customers. This is our stuff. And that Apple credit card does not seem to be doing that good because they keep waiving fees and all. I mean, good for us. They're like, oh, well, what. If you're an end user of the product, Apple's happy, you're happy, it's business as usual. But Goldman Sachs, like,
Mike got disaster relief.
He got disaster relief. Goldman Sachs is like, where's our interest? Hey, we're losing money. So that might not be going well. So this is them trying, Apple holding the loan and all this. Like, this is a different way of them trying to get in there, because I don't know what the terms of the Goldman Sachs business relationship is, but I don't see a renewal of contracts in the future whenever that comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, especially in the tech space, I think it's very dangerous to be convinced by a lot of channels and creators and stuff that you need the newest, latest thing. And I applaud you, Mike, for going refurbished route with the MacBook. Didn't have to get the latest, greatest thing, and
it's
still
latest
seems
and greatest to me.
Yeah,
it's new
right.
to
It's a healthy
me, and
mindset.
it's beautiful.
There you go. I love
I
it.
like it.
Right.
There's basically
Good.
no problems with it. And is this my first time? Yeah, this is my first time with certified refurbished, I think. And
How was that for you? How was that experience going through all that?
came just like new and everything. Like, came at a record time. I guess maybe that's because the employee friend I had that helped me get it was connected to it, right? So they're like, oh yeah, we could get you a MacBook Air whenever you want. Which one do you want? We can get to you by tomorrow and all that. So it was quick and easy. I mean, it was just me telling him, hey, I've been thinking about getting a certified refurbished thing. He's like, oh, okay, I can help you with that. So I'm like, okay. But very much just look on the site, find the one that I want, and then what do you know? Schedule just a delivery or pickup time, and then that was kind of it. Basically, as if you were buying a normal product, and you were picking up, I guess, at the store. So easy peasy, and even unboxing it, it all seemed pretty newish. I think the only thing that looked a tad old, or felt a little bit older, was the charging cable, because that.
Okay.
It definitely looked like it wasn't rolled up by Apple, or at least like it wasn't like
someone else
fresh out of the factory is what I mean. It probably was rolled up by Apple, but like it doesn't look like straight from the factory assembly line.
Right.
It's corded perfectly.
It's been opened.
There's no ridges or curves or weird plastic deformations on it. Like it looks like it's been used a bit, but computer looks perfectly fine, operates perfectly fine, has been doing the podcast without any issues at all. Nice. The CPU performance has been, I mean, it's not crazy CPU performance for recording this podcast, but...
You'd think, that's what I thought, but the M2 Air killed a whole podcast.
Yeah, we'll never get the Blazer effect back, but...
No.
Which is very...
That's funny, though, that you're outside recording, and it's fine, and... Yeah. The M2 Air was inside recording and overheated and corrupted the file. It was super annoying. I was still.
Was
really
that during
mad
the
about
summer?
that.
I forget.
It was last August, so yeah. But I was inside. It was cool inside.
And it's the second generation chip. It should be doing that. It should be better.
Yeah,
it should be refined.
Exactly. But speaking of refurbished and renewed products, I know that Randy abused the Amazon renewed system with the AirPods Max. Have you heard? I found out about this recently from Burkhart. Have you heard of Amazon Premium Renewed?
I'm now looking this up because this is news to me.
So the
you
products
had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
You might want to abuse this. I'm debating abusing it myself, but I'm not sure because as soon as I found out about this, I was like, "There's no way they keep this around. They have to."
Abusing the teaser here. What's going on?
Okay, I'll keep it simple. 1 year return window. Randy stepped away.
Dude, you could get a Roomba for a really good price, and you could just enjoy it for a year, Randy.
And they have iPhones.
It's just showing nothing but Roombas on the front page.
I didn't look up anything else other than iPhones, but I just looked up premium renewed. No,
you could get a MetaQuest 2, and then just renew it, or like what's it called, return it.
Yeah, they have 13 minis. They even have my favorite, the Product Red 13 mini. It's out of stock. Never mind. But they tend to cost more than they would typically cost. Like,
what's this premium? What?
It's called Premium Renewed on Amazon.
Just that, okay.
And I believe they are still certified refurbished products. They're not brand new, but you pay extra for them on the certainty that even if something goes wrong or even if you change your mind 8 months, 7 months, 10 months in, you go, actually, I don't want this anymore. So as soon as I read about that, I was like, that's going to be abused like immediately.
Are you sure it's a year?
Can't you?
Because I'm seeing
that's what it
you
says.
have 90 days to return for a replacement or full refund.
Does it say premium renewed? Renewed premium?
I went on Amazon's.
I see renewed premium 13. Oh, that's not a mini though. Damn it. All right.
But I thought I read it. Let me double check. Make sure I'm sure.
Maybe I'm just looking at Amazon renewed.
1 year satisfaction guaranteed. Backed by 1 year satisfaction guarantee. It's in bold print.
I guess I'm on the wrong thing then.
iPhone. I'm looking at a product
The
red.
guarantee is in conjunction with Amazon's return policy. So I believe that means you have a year to return it and get a full
13
refund. But
product
what's to
red.
stop someone from buying a phone off that, waiting 11 months, buying another one and returning the old one, and just cycling out, essentially? It's like a pawn shop.
I want a product red 13 so bad. Not to use. I know. Yeah, no.
Not to use.
Not to use as a collector's item. This is my baby.
What a great topic after talking about poor financial decisions.
Hey, remember, my 5% is not your 5%, Drew. I said that. My 5% is not. I said that.
Well, this is good because you can get all your money back, unlike the Apple
I'm not
Pay.
even going to keep it.
What you need to do, Apple Pay later on premium renewed.
They got a 12 Pro Max. You fools. Why? Ugh.
I heard they had a 13 Pro Max.
I'm looking at it right now. 13 Pro.
Oh, okay.
There's
wait. Not
Apple
Max, just regular Pro.
this.
Hey, 10R. All right.
I'd never heard of a 1-year return window, and I was like,
IKEA.
that's got to be... Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
On not everything, but a lot of their stuff has a 1-year return policy. Their mattress, they were like, our mattress. I bought a mattress from them because they're like, all right. But
I have a horrible IKEA story, but I don't think I got.
In fact, that was the bed you slept on, Drew.
Oh, is that one?
That bed had a 1-year.
So it's appreciated in value now.
That's right. This is the same bed Talos of Tech slept on. Oh.
Right. Oh boy.
I like the idea that you can buy a printer on here, and then just use up all the ink and then return it, and then just get another one.
I mean, of all companies to abuse, Amazon, like.
And ink. Yeah. Get out of here.
Who wants to buy ink? Nah, just
You're
return
gonna
the
be in
whole
prison.
thing.
What are you in for? I used up ink cartridges on renewed printers from Amazon, and I'd return them after I ran out of ink. Whoa.
How tough am I?
That's scary.
Scoots away.
How tough am I?
Scoots away.
I'm just saying the ink industry is very corrupt, and they rob you.
A lot of corruption in the ink industry. There's like mob bosses and child labor and all this terrible stuff up the supply chain.
How tough am I? All right.
I was tempted to abuse it, but I decided against it. But I just thought, if I'm not going to, someone should. So I thought I'd throw it out on the podcast.
If you're in the market for a gaming PC, they've got a few, and you can just abuse the heck out of it and then give it back.
Not heavily in the market. Like,
oh yeah, no.
This is just...
Whoa.
Very
okay.
High skimming of just how deep can you go into the gaming PC market. This is like pretty much like the brim where like all the
try it out for a year and then give up because Windows sucks.
So 13 mini renewed premium usually ships within 1 to 2 months.
Whoa, really?
I'm looking at them all but the product red. Oh, I think Starlight has only 2 left, so there's no one in there. Yeah, 1 to 2 months. Sheesh.
I see. Yeah, that's a wait. Maybe a lot of people have figured this out before I have.
But I want that Ferrari. I almost said Safari red. Ferrari red. 13.
I'd be more interested in a non-abusive way to try the 13 mini red if I ever need to switch away from my 10. I'd like to see. I think my 10 will be okay for the most of this year, but once the 15s come out, I expect the 13 mini will go down in price on the secondhand market again. Mm-hmm. I'd be curious, like Amazon renewed, not premium, but eBay refurbished or something, like how much you could get a 13 mini for, because that would have the MagSafe,
it's perfect.
and
13
wouldn't
mini
have
is
the
the best phone,
rounded
Drew.
chassis,
It's the perfect phone.
I don't know. Look at them curves.
I don't know, but it holds in the hand. It's just look at it.
Look at
Look at it. Look at it.
I forget where Randy's at. Are you?
Tell me.
Well, you're on the 13. Are you gonna holiday return window the 15?
Ooh. Okay. So we never talked about this because maybe I just don't care enough. But if the periscope or telephoto, whatever, is only on the 15 Pro Max, if that's the only one to get the periscope lens,
Yeah.
I might just go to the store and be like, "Oh, hey, look at that!" All right, and that might be the extent of that because I have
Save a lot of money that way.
I save a lot of travel time and loading up the kid. Doing this, so like it's who wants to do that? Yeah. So look, so who has that type of time? Yeah. So
Steve Jobs was quoted for saying, "Who wants an eSIM? You gotta get the carrier, download it." We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. No, we have the SIM tray right. So, the 15 Pro Max. If that's the only one that gets the periscope, yeah, I genuinely could not care less.
But USB-C in ultra red.
Ultra red? Or are they Tesla?
So the rumor is
They're
that it's going to have this deep red color for the Pros, which I'm excited for that. Just for anybody who's in the market of upgrading, like I would love that color a lot. That is before there was the green and Alpine green 13s. The product red 13 was like that's my favorite color of all time. Period. It surpassed the slate black iPhone 5. It surpassed any color or variant up to that point. It was like 13 mini or 13 any of them. Product red, best red. Can't change my mind on that. And then green dropped, and I was like, well, never mind. Changed my mind.
Obviously.
Apple indeed changed it. But so I'm excited to see what that red. If anything, I'm just like, how are you going to make that hue of red look? Because no two reds are the same, and it's really tough to beat the 13 color. 14 red is too bright. So
I agree.
better than that pink 12. Am I right though? Jeez, God, that was a joke. That faded. Like you left the phone out in the sun too long. It faded. So it's so bad.
They ran out of ink.
The printer's running low.
The ink.
They got no more magenta in the printer. Quick, Amazon renew premium some ink so they can get this back on track.
Right.
So
Yes.
with the 15 Pro lineup, I will consider it if all the cool specs are on the regular sized 15 Pro. I will probably wait a month and then hang out with it for 2 to 3 months again, most likely, just because that was kind of fun. The only difference is that I am not I will Marquez Brownlee this and put 2 phones in my pocket because the eSIM transfer infuriated me back and forth. and out of principle, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to go through that headache again.
Yeah.
And that's on
I'm kind of sad at the thought that I won't get a phone with USB-C or physical SIM ever.
Right? Because the USB-C thing is cool. Oh, so with the USB-C thing, this also now is all indicative of data transfer speeds if it actually is going to help the photography portion of it. Because I'm a practice what I preach kind of guy, and I'm filming on the 13 Pro right now, I would only really be interested about trying the 15 Pro if I can actually run if the speeds are quick. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna film full, ProRes 4K. I'll do at 60. I'll do all that happily in cinema mode or whatever. Like, fine, yeah, I'll do all that jazz, and I'll have a lot of fun doing it while I'm at it. But your follow-up question that you're not asking me is, do I feel like I would be tempted to upgrade or keep it? Not even remotely. Even more so now that Sage is here.
I won't ask that yet. I think we all need to wait until we try before we.
I'm pretty confident because my seller was the cameras, and I just I'm not an outside guy taking photography or videography anymore. My head is so wrapped around my kid now that I don't have that type of time to really like be invested in that anymore. My passion is still there. My time isn't. So it's just it would not economically make sense for me to do that if I'm being honest. So
yeah. Well, you guys asked me a few episodes ago what would the iPhone have to do to convince me to switch to the 15 or whatever, and I didn't have a good answer. But I thought of one, so I thought I'd put it on the record. Something that would convince me to get a 15 Ultra or whatever.
okay.
It's not USB-C. It's not an amazing camera.
Titanium.
Titanium. That's cool. I prefer titanium. I don't really love the steel look, but the way I could justify it is if it's not me upgrading my iPhone, but downgrading my camera. It's I could justify it by not, and it's not the camera. Perhaps I tried to film videos with the 14 Pro and stuff. It's a fine camera. I think it would get the job done. It's just I already have a Blackmagic. Yeah. But the complexity is with the microphone tripod and the camera tripod and having them connected. And I don't want to have to record audio separately because that's more steps, more importing. Got to sync up the clips, but combined with the USB-C port, which would allow for the faster importing, it's the mic, which we talked about at the beginning. But
I've been here.
Hi, Mike.
He is the one who will convince me. No, but
before
we started, sweet mother of God, before we started recording, he had us listen because he's in a different setup today. He was like, which mic sounds better? Is it the MacBook mic or the iPhone mic? Which one should I record with? So both me and Randy were like listening in to hear how he sounded. And the MacBook mic sounded like it channeled his voice. It captured his voice better than the iPhone mic. And I was like, I'm like him right now. I'm using the microphones on my MacBook Pro, which I think are very good.
Pro.
I use them.
I am Air.
Pro.
You're just Pro.
Yeah. I think there might be a mic difference, but I don't know how massive it is. The audience will let us know how it sounds. But if they brought the studio grade microphones from the MacBook Pro and somehow brought that voice isolation tech to the iPhone to where I wouldn't need 2 tripods and I wouldn't need to pack on my trip. I don't always take my Blackmagic, but I do always take my Zoom.
I hear you.
Because I know the iPhone mic isn't going to be good enough.
Unintended,
the MacBook mic is okay. Yeah, you do hear me. So I was like, similarly, my MacBook Pro replaced my dedicated mic that I used to have, with the arm and everything on my desk. So I said, okay, if the iPhone would mean I wouldn't have to pack all that on a trip, and all I really needed on the trip was the phone, and that could do amazing audio, great video. I'm sold on the video already. The 13 Pro, like you've already shown, is a plenty good camera. I don't need a better camera to be sold, but the microphone on those cameras is still quite a bit worse than what I can get out of a Zoom or what I can get out of the MacBook. So a really noticeable like step change improvement in microphone quality that can replace both of those 2 pieces of equipment at once, that I think would probably convince me to be like, okay, I can travel lighter. I could sell those off. I could get rid of them, and I could make it a lot more of a mobile workstation and a lot more Apple Sheep approved. Not only are the videos edited off of the MacBook, and we're not only recording and live streaming off the MacBook, but all the tech videos are also recorded purely off of the iPhone. And right now, like, even if the 14 Pro had a great mic, I would still be restricted to importing via Lightning, which is slow, or via AirDrop, which is not fast either. So it's not USB-C alone, but Type-C with great mic, I think that would do it for me. So I have my answer.
That's a really cool answer.
Thank you.
I
don't think they'll do it though.
They
They probably won't.
No. Let me challenge that.
No.
I'm going to challenge that. When
Okay.
you 3x zoom on like the 13 Pro, it changes the audio profile.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they expand on that technology the same way then? They already have voice isolation or wide spectrum or standard audio for FaceTime calls when it comes to any iOS device or any ecosystem with the latest software that's there. And Jesus, you're making it so obvious now because they also improved the specs on this immensely, so much so I'm holding up AirPods Pro to audio listeners. They improved this so much that it no longer sounds like I don't know. The best product of last year was this, hands down. AirPods Pro 2 was the best. They're already showcasing, and you already talked at length with the MacBook mics, and I mean we got the speakers to even show for it too, and with the audio, they're showcasing audio improvements across the spectrum. HomePod, AirPods Max, they're showing that they have an invested interest in audio. And you're saying about the mic, you're speaking of hardware stuff, but the spectrum of audio is very important to Apple. They're nailing it with videography. No camera comes close to what the iPhone can do, which is why when you look at Marquez's autofocus channel, in the description, he still has iPhone 14 Pro as his camera. It doesn't matter what he's sampling. He knows that's the best one. We know it's the best one. Apple knows that's the best one. But audio, oh my goodness, does that not make all the difference? Because what you're hitting on, Drew, you're saying something that I've been saying for a long time, just a little bit different. Audio, the reason why I became an audiophile and why I love it besides music and all that is it's such a passive and subconscious experience. You only notice audio when it's not going in your favor, and that's a problem. That's when people in the chat go, "What's up with Drew? I can't hear him," or things to that spectrum there. But when you don't think about audio, that's when you know it's doing its job. And the best thing they can do is to blur the line so good that both Mike and Drew are able to utilize their MacBook mics. You told somebody this time like 5-10 years ago, they would be like, "What? God, noob." But now it's like, no, professionally graded quality can't innovate my butt. Tech. This is a great advancement of what we're doing with audio, and Apple has already showcased that they care that much about it. You just blew my mind, Drew, because there's no way that they're not going to focus on that.
They might do nothing. They could just keep the same mic as the 14 Pro.
No, because I would believe you if they didn't change the audio profile when you zoom in on the different lens. I would believe you. But because they went that attention to detail shows exactly what I'm saying, that you don't think about it because it's working that well. I'm so convinced now that is a demographic that they're going to focus and target on. We just don't. It's not the sexiest subject. Nobody cares about audio like that. But that's when you know it's working. We hate Discord for so many things, but we use it for one thing, and it's that isolation. We can hear each other so clearly. And we why can't FaceTime just do this? Just get a little bit better. Quit bugging out on us. Never mind the software element of that. The hardware gets up to speed in such a way that the mic can give you what you're looking for. Shoot, I might upgrade. I mean, because you're right. I hate this thing is heavy right here. This is a metal plated thing. I hate lugging around all this extra gear. If you could simplify my lineup, that is every sense of the reason a need to upgrade, or at least an appropriate response to upgrading. It's a business expense. It's work purposes, but it's also just natural evolution of things. I can't remember a time of me. Do you know how long it took me to set up my Sony? That was such a hard, tedious process, and that's why I like doing, vertical FaceTime calls when we used to record the podcast on FaceTime, because that was just quicker and easier. Streamlining any process is a good, valid, entertaining way, or I will entertain this idea of upgrading that, and I guarantee audio will be a focus point at some point. Might not be this year.
Sold on it. Yeah.
No, because it's everywhere else. It's all those other products I listed. And the fact that zooming technology meant they also focused in on the audio there. They care about audio. They don't deny that. That's why their stuff's expensive. They have the best sounding everything, and you have to pay a premium for that. But that's gonna be iPhone 16, 17. It's coming. There's no way that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
I just can't
Blew my
hear your
mind.
reviews, Randy, on what those improvements might just be year over year. Because I agree, it seems like audio has kind of taken the back seat for iPhones recently, while video and frame rate has kind of been the highlights. So it would be interesting. I mean, the AirPods have gotten enough attention with audio. Hopefully, they can take some of that and bring it to the iPhone in a way that is a lot more pro-like or clear in some way. Actually make pro for the mics, but I guess I haven't really tested. Yeah, I haven't really tested my mic versus my wife's mic on her phone, but I'm sure there's a difference. But
I would love to hear your feedback
difference
on that, Mike. If you ever come around to like, you know what, I'll give that a try. Like, I would love to know what your take is on that, because that's something I don't think I tried when I was reviewing the 14 Pro. So missed opportunity on my end. I don't know the profile differences. I just know how great this one is, and that was good enough for me.
Mike can do a mic test on his 11 Pro mic, his
Sweet
wife's 12 Pro mic, and his 14 Pro mic, alongside his Mac Air. Mac. Yeah, it's all just.
Guess what day it is?
Was it? Hold on, let me grab that while we awkwardly transition to Mike Rowe. Oh dear Lord.
Mike Rowe?
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking of the camel.
I think I got it. There we go.
There's also the option I could always fall back to. I'm not sure if I want to go that route, but there's people that make dedicated iPhone microphones that they can clip on or that are wireless.
I was going to add on to that. Like, what's stopping you now is what I was thinking when you were talking about that. Like, what's stopping you now from just getting a 14 and then getting like a dedicated mic for that, and then just operating strictly on the MacBook Pro and the iPhone with an accessory mic? But then I remembered you probably want to use your Blackmagic to its extent until it's probably unusable, or until you're actually noticing a huge difference between the newest phone and the Blackmagic with the mic that it has.
Right. And the other big factor that we still don't have yet, but we're probably getting, is the data transfer speeds, because that's what I was mentioning earlier. Is like, if we're still stuck with Lightning and AirDrop, it's still going to take some time to AirDrop that footage over to the Mac.
Yeah.
Whereas if we had Thunderbolt, or at least USB-C at 3.0 speeds, we could plug in, and that's how. I guess I'm not willing to spend extra money. Same reason I don't have the ceramic Apple Watch anymore. I don't want to pay extra to downgrade. I will I will downgrade if I can break even, or downgrade if I make money, save money, and that would put me in the negative for an outcome that would likely be worse. It would take longer to import footage, probably wouldn't look as good as the Blackmagic. I don't even know if the audio would be better, and it's the accessory would likely be another thing I gotta charge, or another thing I gotta pack, and right now I'm already packing a mic anyway. So I'm looking for a first party, like all-in-one solution where I could just whip it out, record something, and boom, I've got great audio, good video. And I don't think the 14 Pro, even with a third-party mic, would really achieve that because of the limitations
but you've gone around
of connectivity.
with the 10 and the third-party app that allows you to use it as a camera if you wanted to use it as a camera. It seems like you've kind of
as a webcam, yeah.
But
as a webcam, it can do it, but it's a whole different game if you're recording videos, especially with the skits. You're talking back and forth. I could record straight to this, but again, it's the getting the data off the phone is the time-consuming part, and that's one very quick, very easy thing about my Blackmagic setup is I just record straight. Let me unplug it. I record straight to a SSD via Type-C, and that's like I don't think it's Thunderbolt, but it's like 3.0 speeds. So I can record from the Blackmagic, plug in, drag the file, and it goes in real quickly.
So then what's
AirDrop
stopping you
is
from
always
just
finicky.
using continuity camera then? And using OBS to record your footage, and then
This doesn't do continuity camera.
so you need a longer cord. Then.
Yeah, but it's also limited to 1080 at 30 for one. So I know
Okay.
that I could jump through some extra hoops and buy an extra cable, but all of it will be so that the video looks worse. I don't think it would simplify the ease of setup, or it would probably make things take longer. Also, where's the audio from OBS coming from?
You would have
I guess
to
the Zoom.
get. Well, you can either use the Zoom mic and your Blackmagic, or you can just use your Blackmagic mic, or actually you don't even plug that in, so maybe not. But I don't know. Then you just, I think at that point, get a third-party mic, connect it to the MacBook Pro somehow, and then you just, I guess that's another battery you have to worry about, though. But I guess you're already having to worry about it in the
It would
first
be a
place.
different setup, but I don't think it would necessarily be an improvement. I don't think it would be simpler,
Maybe.
easier. But again, that the limiting factor at this point is iPhone mic and iPhone throughput. So
Sure.
the rumors are pointing towards the port getting much faster. So that box is likely checked. The unknown at this point is if there's a big emphasis on audio. I guess Randy's totally convinced there will be a big audio push. I'm less convinced, but I think that if there was a way to get really, really solid audio that isolates, like, because what I love about that Zoom is I can take it to really poor audio environments. Like I could be in a room that's got a lot of reverb and a lot of echo, and I just whip that thing out and start recording, and it like cancels out most of the reverb, not all of it, but I've tried before on trips and stuff, record off the iPhone. How does the iPhone mic sound? How does the Zoom sound? iPhone mic, you can like barely hear it. It's like, it's so tinny. Zoom is like, okay, that's reasonable. I can work with that. But if the iPhone mic could catch up in that regard, then maybe it wouldn't make sense to keep having the two device system. So it took a while, but I got something. We'll see if they live up to. I know Apple listens to these shows, so now they know what to work on.
I'm convinced audio will be focused on because you have to keep selling new units, and nobody cares about audio, and that is a perfect way to be like, look here.
Nobody cares.
No, they don't. Listen, most people care about audio the way maybe I care about promotion. Okay, it's there. I notice it. It's cool. I don't need it. I don't have it. You know? That's just...
Or similar to when we first got the EarPod redesign when the iPhone 5 came out. You know, the first time headphones looked like that.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
It's good audio, but you don't know you want it until you hear it.
That's true.
It's like before, remember the iPhone 4
Yes.
earbuds, the circular ones? Those were the default. Everyone just kind of lived with those. I tried them and I thought they sounded fine. I was like, okay, yeah, that's good headphones, whatever. Then I got the 5, put in the new ones, and it was like night and day. Once you heard that, it was like, oh my God. And still to this day, the base model AirPods are still that design practically. They added batteries, but for the most part, the cup that goes in your ear, it's still that shape. So it could be like that, where right now we're just kind of used to smartphone audio sucking, so we don't really think about it. But maybe once they roll it out, it's like, oh, wait a second. I didn't realize. That's really cool. I really want that.
Let's go full circle with this. It's like those
Okay.
blasted Android user family members I have that don't realize they want iOS until they try the iPad, and they're like, oh,
The
there's something to
heathens.
this. Those heathens. And now it's slowly... Oh, I gotta... I thought I got a spam text right now. No, it's my son's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I just got notified. Hey, just so you know, I'm like, I know, I confirmed already. I already did the voice thing. Press 1 to confirm your appointment. Oh my God! Now I'm getting I already know. So anyway, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad we could bring it back to Randy's elitism at the end of the episode. So just remind everyone how
my
evil
poop
he is.
does not smell.
But your son's probably does.
But oh my god. We had a little off mic situation before we started the show today, and my kid literally.
I'm glad it was not on me.
Yeah, there's no crap on Mike.
No, but the moment I pass my kid off, I'm like, "You got him? Okay, I'm gonna go do the thing now." I come in here and immediately my wife shows up, and my kid's wrapped in like paper towels, and she's just looking at me like, "Help!" And I'm like, "What happened?" And so,
okay.
Anyway,
there you have it.
I won't say the bad.
Do you
word.
guys have any final thoughts before we end this show forever?
Again, man, forever
It's
keeps
the
getting shorter.
Second annual finale episode.
People
Do
are
people
gonna be
know,
thinking
Drew?
that we're not returning.
What?
About schedules this year? Is that public knowledge?
I'll repeat the public stuff for the record. We are likely to be taking... I don't know what you guys want to do, but I'll be probably gone and unavailable to record starting shortly after Dub Dub, actually. I think we'll have just enough time to react. I'll still do the reaction stream, and then we'll... Hopefully, if you guys are free, we can do a podcast episode recapping it. That'll probably be the last episode until...
Mid-season finale. What a send-off, Dub Dub.
August.
So, like, mid-season for Dub Dub all the way into iPhone season. Look at
and then iPhone
us.
season will be right around the corner. Yeah. We'll take a big break because I'm going to be out of the country and our time zones are going to be so different.
I'll be out of the country.
And my internet's going to suck. Randy's going to be busy. So I guess there will likely be a big podcast pause in the middle of the year.
You ever have such a slow tech news for the year because tech is so boring now that we just like, we're going to have to take a couple months off.
That's not why we're taking.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm not worried about it because
it's like we come back. Did we miss anything? No.
I feel like they're going to unveil the headset and I'm worried they're going to start shipping it like end of June and we're not going to be available.
Not happening.
So we're not going to be able to talk about it.
Nope, not happening. Not happening.
We're going to wait till the headset's on premium renew. So we can wear it for a year.
Yeah.
And then return it.
Yeah. That's good.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate you for listening. We'll catch you next week, maybe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.